I always considered myself a good listener, but after this weekend, I realized I got a whole lot more to work on, and I want to share some of that insight with you. Hey, it's Jones Loflin. Welcome to Insights from the Jones Zone, where I give you a way to master your week in 3 minutes or less. This past weekend, I attended a coaching course, one of many I'll be taking as part of my certification process, and a great deal of the weekend was spent on being an effective listener. Now, I thought, I've got this. I'm a great listener. And boy, did I get fooled. There were so many places where I missed things that people were saying, or how they were saying it, or their body language was telling me something and I was missing because I was so focused on trying to make sure I got every word they said correct in my head. The coaching course I was taking said that there are basically 3 levels of listening, and see which one you find yourself in most often. Level 1 is when you're focusing on yourself. You've got this noise in your head that causes you to say, what am I going to say next? What am I hearing them say, and how am I going to respond to that? You're noticing external distractions around you that are keeping you from fully focusing on that person. Level 2 is when you're fully zoned in on what they're saying. You're not paying a lot of attention to distractions around you, and you're really looking at what they're saying. You could repeat the words back to them if you needed to, but I thought that's where it ended. But then there's level 3. Level 3 is when you not only notice what they're saying, you notice how they're saying it. You notice when they talk faster or slower, when they get more excited or begin to show some anxiety. You listen for that space between words, which usually has huge implications for what they really want to say, and then you notice their body language or a shift in positive or negative posture that signals there's something deeper there. Now, listening, as we know, is a skill, and it has to be practiced. And if you find yourself wanting to be a better listener as a leader, then here are a couple things you might try. First of all, remove as many visual distractions as possible. Get yourself in a position where you can really focus on what that person is saying, whether it's face-to-face or on the phone. Secondly is to slow down the conversation. I found that when I force myself to really let a little space occur between them saying something and then me responding, I was able to articulate what they were saying much more effectively and to really digest not only the content but the intent of what they were saying. And finally, take some time in conversation to articulate back to them what you heard them saying. So it shows, first of all, that you were listening, but to make sure you get it right, because they may have intended something very different, and it's a chance for you to correct that before you continue on with the conversation. I hope it's a fantastic week for you where you're found listening at level 3 more often. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today in the Jones Zone.